Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game Master Monday. I'm Alyssa, and I am your Game Master for our final episode of Soothwardens by Navarre Jackson. Soothwardens is a diceless, luckless game about larger-than-life feelings and larger-than-life fights. The fights have now been concluded, probably, so let's see where the feelings take us. The playtest version of the game is currently available on Navarre's itch.io page, navarresnp.itch.io. Speaking of us, I will pass it over to my players to introduce themselves, starting with Dusty.
Hello, I'm Dusty. I use they, he pronouns. I'm playing the totally in control, totally meant to be so hurt Sokoro. He uses they, them pronouns.
And Ferris?
Hello, I'm Ferris. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Flicker, who uses she, they pronouns, and does not believe one word you just said. But that's okay. We can talk about it, and I cannot talk about my drama.
False.
It's going to be a one-sided conversation where you get yelled at and I don't.
We'll see about
As
that.
is just and right.
Mm-hmm. That's healthy communication right there.
Exactly. Fictional. That's how I communicate. Dusty, you can't respond to that. I am Alyssa. I use they, them pronouns, and I play everyone else. So, with introductions done, it's time to get back into the game. The Breaker has been vanquished, both in the Sooth and in this island. You have stopped it. You found its weakness, you killed it. There is now the giant hull of what you thought was the Omarim on the beach. A sort of new miles-long landmark for this little island. But that's probably fine. I mean, the sort of leathery corpse that was inside it is now against the mountainside, exposed in a way it hasn't been for centuries. But its song is strong, and it's probably fine too. Speaking of things that are probably fine, how are you two? What are you doing?
So fine. We're great.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm probably feeling pretty great because I have 19 out of 20 heart. I walked out of that fight with almost as much as I walked into it with.
I after I stop sustaining everything, I'm probably actually pretty good too.
I mean, what's
maybe
really
tired physically.
I was going to say is the stamina, where Dusty, you're at 10 out of 21, and Ferris, you're at 5 out of 21.
That's not important. Yeah. We don't need to look at that part. Jeez.
I definitely, after getting most of this goo off before I actually able to, shower or clean it off, I'm just, okay, you want to make sure everyone is safe, and then I think
clean up duty.
You need to rest.
I don't, but thank you for telling me I look terrible.
Now listen,
you look worse. You were covered in goo. Thanks for doing that. Instead of me, I knew switching was a good idea for aesthetic purposes.
I could feel how tired you are, and you know this.
I'm not that tired. Also, if I am, it's only because we woke up in the middle of the night, and you know I'm not a morning person. It's not even morning yet. Maybe. I don't know. Is the sun coming up yet?
It is not. It is maybe like an hour before sunrise at this point. Your fights were over fast.
Oh, God, it is so early in the day. I don't love this hour.
I know. Look. We'll check on everyone, make sure they're safe. We'll do what we can, but you're going to need to rest probably for at least a day or something.
And also you.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you did not risk death because I know you did.
We had to stop the breaker.
Not at the cost of our lives.
I knew you were there.
I think you get an uncompartmentalized pulse of like panic. And Flicker's gonna change the subject by engaging with the nearest person who is putting their house back together.
Who is the clam salesman?
Oh no, not the clam man.
Yeah, he is sort of sulking a little bit as he, I think, organizes the thatch that has fallen off of the roof of his house, not knowing at this point that there is much more repair to be done down on the beach. Do you tell him?
Yeah. What's Oyster Man's name?
Woof.
We didn't have one before. So
He didn't have him before. No, we called him Oyster Boy.
Don't worry. We did not engage with him long enough to get a name out of this person. We got oysters and we left.
You can't just call him Oyster Boy.
I'm mad at that.
Not in person.
That's just what everyone calls him behind his back.
That's
I
weird.
hear it, yeah.
This island is cruel sometimes.
This is Oyster Boy Mo.
Mo!
I love him. I love him immediately. Mo. Good day. It's day. I don't know how to say good morning without the good because it's not a good morning, but at least you're not dead. I'm not dead. Socorro, super not dead, which is important. The scenery is a little different, and there's maybe less staple items in town than there used to be. But you know what a building is? A temporary construction. And you know what you are? A resilient oyster man.
Thank you.
I'm gonna walk up a little quietly and just, hey Mo, I'm gonna have to build you a new stand tomorrow. Sorry.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna turn around and point at the statue. You see where its right knee is?
Oh.
Yeah. But hey, if you set up in the same spot, it's right by the statue. That's a new
Tourism.
landmark. You're gonna sell so much oysters, Mo.
You can upcharge so much.
No oysters.
Mosters.
Do you think I could cook oysters inside of it?
That's a
Maybe. We'll look
Maybe-
at it and let you
maybe-
know.
maybe on it if you get that's hot enough. You know, like hot stone cooking.
'Cause
Would it make
I
you
tried
feel
to-
better if I told you that it was basically a giant oyster in the first place?
It was.
So it's like poetic justice or something. No, not justice. Just poetic.
I mean, that part matters less than the cooking oysters on it. Like, I tried to do it when it was up near the mountain once, and they didn't like that so much. It was a picnic, and I brought raw ones because I thought it would be, like, nice, but then the person I was with didn't like raw ones, so I was like, oh, I'll cook them real fast. There's metal.
This sounds
Here.
like less a problem with the grilling situation and more an issue with like maybe that
Nope.
person wasn't right for you, you know?
No, they definitely weren't.
Yeah. So, you know, give it another try now that there's more. You can troubleshoot easier without the pressure of someone judging you for your oysters, which are delicious, by the way. I think you have great oysters.
You
Yeah.
said there are more oysters in the... Are the
Not
other
everywhere.
just
Well-
oysters?
It was.
Uh,
It was awfully flushy in there. Let me just put it that way.
Probably, I wouldn't.
They're super charred.
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Charred oyster sounds like a delicacy, and he is going to put down the bushel of thatching and head down to the beach.
You sure we're in the right headspace to like talk to people right now?
Yeah.
Let's find Sarah.
Samir.
Samir, that's fine.
I was gonna say,
sorry, I got it in the head. Samir.
You got hit in the head?
Yeah.
By the giant statue?
The clam part.
The clam part hit you in the head?
Sort
Is that why I was being strangled when I appeared?
I was gonna handle it, but yeah.
Were you?
Yeah, it would have been fine. I mean, obviously, it's better that
the hard
you do.
Part. You cracked open the shell and you fried the fish, which was really what was necessary.
Yeah. See, you clearly you had a feeling that's what needed to be done. So you switched us.
Yeah, it was specifically so you could handle the fish and for no other reason. Absolutely. I did not have any feelings whatsoever about putting you in the Sooth. And I'm glad it worked out great. Good job. Oops, sorry. Whacked you in the head.
We need to talk about, like...
Going to bed? You're so right. We should make sure no one's dead first, though.
I think you walk off like just Sokoro has the deepest sigh. Okay, let's find them.
Elsa, remind me the name of the person that we spent all of the first 2 sessions getting on the good side of.
Kira, the potter.
Kira. I should have remembered that one, and I'm actually surprised I didn't. Yeah, where's Kira? Is Kira alive?
Yeah, I mean, their home and, also the place that you were asleep is a little distant from the main square. And while all of the pottery, including Rada's memorial, has been shattered by the earthquake, the buildings are still standing, surprisingly, and Kira is fine, if distraught, about all of the destruction.
Hey, Kira. Good, you are not. Good, you're good. Random thought and question. We are also good. That's unrelated, but it's nice to know, I think. Do you ever work with metal?
It's not my primary vocation, but I've done it a bit. We don't have another smith on the island, so...
You know what? I knew that, and that's why I asked. But I wasn't sure if you did it, artistically. There's a bit of a separation between the Omerum corpse and the Omerum shell. What are your thoughts on maybe heading up a project to re-shell the corpse?
She stares at you, just sort of baffled. She felt the earthquakes, but did not see the cause of it. And so this is the first that she's hearing.
I see. The statue is the one that caused it. The breaker was a clam-like thing inside of the statue. Mm-hmm. And now the whatever was originally in the statue is holding up the mountain, which I think is the Omerum. The song is louder, which I'm glad I could hear it, but also there's probably a reason why it was in the statue.
She processes that for a minute, and then turns to you, Flicker, and says, "So it stole the outside of the room."
Seems to be the case. Yep. I don't particularly know how, but breakers move in mysterious ways, and sometimes those ways are statues.
Does that mean it's the same fucker that stole my memorial?
I think so.
Test drive.
Yeah.
And you killed it.
Super tap.
Yeah.
She hugs you again.
Oh,
very surprisingly.
Okay. This is good. This is a great time for me and you both. We're having a lovely time. Thank you for your affection. That feels like a trap. You want to build a statue then? And it doesn't have to be obviously right now. I expect it's going to take time. You should get a team together. You should do it. And I think it would be great if you did it because nobody can rival your skills. Are we still hugging? I think we can be done now.
Sort of pull back and awkwardly clasp you on the shoulder before letting go completely. I mean, it's massive, right? How would we even move it?
We can put out a call. Some Soothwardens are good with metal. Maybe we can find a couple who can pitch in and help with the heavy lifting. Not me.
No, maybe
unless you want a pillow out of air.
Our new friend Oscar may be able.
Maybe Oscar. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Long story. I don't know the pieces of it.
Oscar might be a solution. Oscar might become a solution.
They're compartmentalizing.
Rude to call that out. That is link private. How dare you?
I don't think it's private, dear. This person has known you longer than me. They probably realize it. They just need it voiced. Sorry, Kira. Hi.
What a betrayal.
I'm gonna gently pat you on the shoulder.
Right, it seems like you two have things to talk about, and I don't need to be here for that.
No, we just need to go to bed. Because it's 4 a.m.
It's a little precarious. Everything's sort of shattered, but...
That's okay.
I'll clean it up.
We'll sleep on the floor. It's fine.
No.
Right. And she'll sort of awkwardly turn away and go back to collecting little pottery shards from the outside of the houses. Are you two going back to your only one bed to finish out your night of sleep?
How secure is the roof?
Yeah, I think that because of the precautions you took with the statue itself, and the fact that you are not directly in its path, parts of it are out of place. I think part of it has sort of collapsed a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's going to collapse anymore tonight.
Cool. Then I won't bother with the bubble. I'm just gonna go to bed.
I look up the ceiling and just, okay. You mind if I, he's here?
Oh, yeah, we don't have, we already were. So, and half the floor is covered in thatch, so it seems, yeah.
Just wanted to be sure. Just wanted to be, yeah. Cool. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's awkward. It's just us.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Out of curiosity, what emotions coming through from Sokoro?
The feeling of pushing a closet door closed.
Closet specifically, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. No reason.
Alyssa. I just saw what you put in the chat. You're not wrong. Yeah. Cool. Well, since you have the closet door and I have a box, we're just gonna get a few hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sleeping until like dawn breaks and it's regular wake up time, or are you going to actually take the time to rest your body and become untired?
I don't think that we could choose with looking at both of our stamina. I think we just sleep.
I was gonna say the opposite, which is really funny. But you make a good point. You make a good point about
you're more stamina like lost than I am.
I don't know how that happened.
It isn't like someone forced you to heal them a bunch.
I
panic healed. That was panic healing.
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna sleep until you feel better.
And or if someone wakes us up.
Yeah.
I feel bad about not like waking up right away to go help the town rebuild, but is what it is.
Yeah, go ahead and clear all of your marked heart and stamina. You are back to full as you have slept about 16 hours. So
all right, cool, great.
So you wake up and it's like dark. It's evening.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just weirdly look up and it's like, oh, we slept a lot.
It feels like we didn't sleep at all, and also it looks exactly like it did when we went to bed.
Yeah. We're going to have to adjust our sleep schedule a bit.
What day is it?
I don't know. You should maybe see what Kira says.
You know what? If it was drastic, someone would have bothered us.
Yeah, hopefully. Because, yeah. You want to, I guess, check on how the town is doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that first.
As you leave this sort of falling apart a little bit room, you find a rock on the doorstep, and beneath it is a note from Samir that says, came by to see how you were doing, decided I should probably let you rest. Good job. They seem a little tentative about that part.
Oh no. The question mark?
Well,
I thought we did solid.
I did let it get to the water, not realizing how bad it would be.
Oh, was that a bad? I I told you to go to the water, so that's on me.
I
It's my bad.
I thought it was a good idea too, but it started being angrier, and I think the water rejuvenated it. I should have saw the signs, but I was panicking.
To be fair, you didn't know it was an oyster at that time. I didn't even know it was a fish yet, which I also should have seen coming because it was very sneaky, is what it was, and I should have known better. But
I mean,
it's cool.
It was an anglerfish, so that, at least when I got there, what
Yep.
did it?
What?
How it was how did it lure you if you were surprised by it?
It was light in darkness, which I figured means that's my problem there. It was just also. I thought maybe. It was, it just seemed like it wasn't the breaker per se. And I think you get through the bond that careful feeling that Flicker always sort of skirts around every time Rada is mentioned or brought up. But because know the truth of that, it's very, very clear that Rada was involved here somehow.
Really quickly, GM Alyssa, because it's been a little bit. There was something that I was hearing from Rada before, right? Or like felt a connection with the piece of the jar or something.
Yeah, when you were handling the memorial sculpture, you felt something that you think must have been them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think like the feeling may be similar but different from what Flicker is like pushing away and just yeah. Yeah, we could talk about it later. It'd be nice to just talk stuff. You don't have to not say things.
Where's the fun in that?
But, okay. When we have time, we should talk. I could talk too. It's not like you're the. Let's go see the town. How's the town doing? I think.
Great. Love checking on the town, the hometown, the place I was born.
Yeah.
Let's go find out if they're less or more mad at me now. My money is on more.
Yeah, y'all head out towards town. Obviously, houses aren't doing great, but they look better than they did when you fell asleep. There are a few people still out doing some finishing touches on their repairs for the day, but it seems like most people have sort of gathered to eat. And as you enter the sort of square around where the Omerim is still, I suppose, and where the inn is located, the inn's kitchen, its outdoor kitchen itself, was destroyed. Absolutely. Fully, completely. I mean, the inn itself is also just not in great shape, but folks are gathered in the sort of settled dust of the courtyard and have set up cooking fires and are like feeding themselves and each other. And figuring out like where people can stay for this new night, whose houses are habitable, who has extra food, extra supplies, organizing the community basically to move forward from this. And as you come into the group, obviously the vibe isn't great because their town just went through a major disaster, but no one seems particularly upset at you specifically. There's a lot of mumbling, I think, about what it means that this statue, this protector, sort of came alive and tried to destroy the town. There are certainly people, travelers, who are here as sort of a religious pilgrimage who are fraught about what has happened.
That actually raises a good point that I kept thinking of and then getting very distracted by worse situations. Why did the Breaker do this to the Omerim, and can it happen again? Is there a way to investigate that? To find out if this is gonna happen elsewhere?
That's an interesting question. I don't.
Because it did also do the little statue first.
Yes, it did the little statue first. I don't know that that's something you can get from observing the site or anything. I feel like talking to Samir might be your best bet, or talking to some of these other scholars.
Yeah.
If you'd like to do that.
Yeah. Do that. I was going to say, I'm like, that, if I have to go to the Sooth, whatever has the answers. But yeah, Samir seems doubtful that we did a good job, so I definitely want to talk to Samir.
Great. How much effort are you going to put into this conversation?
I'm back at full, baby. We're doing a full 4. Full 4.
Great. You find Samir near one of the fires. Her cane is sort of lying on the ground next to her. Her head is on the shoulder of Midnight Randy, who is fine. He was not out doing midnight fishing. He was otherwise engaged that night, so he is well safe. She sort of looks up when she sees you coming and says, "Not bad."
Thank you.
Might have been nice to not leave an enormous husk on the beach.
All right. Listen.
It would have been worse if it was in the ocean.
We thought it provided ambiance. I didn't think that. I just put it down somewhere.
It was strong. It was stronger in the water. Is what
I was
happened.
tired.
I had to take it out.
They were in the Sooth.
Yeah.
Samir brightens considerably when you say you're tired. Reaches out, hands you a bowl, and says, "You're allowed to admit it, you know."
This feels like gang up on Flickr Day. Okay, cool. Thank you. What is this? What have you handed me? What is this bowl? Soup?
Yeah, it's a nice soup with some seafood that you're pretty sure didn't come from the Breaker.
Is it oysters?
Oyster-like.
Yeah, I think it's more scallopy than oystery. Still in the realm of shell food.
I think Flickr's gonna eat around it. Not even because it could have a mysterious source, but just because last oyster she saw tried to eat her, so
Get revenge.
we need a little space from the oyster, the shell mollusk family of food.
I think you see Socorro, like with a fork or chopsticks or whatever, grab one of the pieces from your bowl and try it.
Just gonna move the bowl so you can pick out what you want.
Who made this? Is it Mo?
No, he's been busy doing his trying to figure out the beach situation.
Yeah. Yeah, so we would hope. Which I mean, going to.
We don't have to help, like, immediately, you know? I mean, if we just waited, like, 10 hours, we would have been there. We're just two people.
What happened?
What part?
Like,
Report on the breaker. What was it? How did it?
it was an oyster.
Oh. Yeah, it's the. It must have been the statue situation with. That was with Kira. I assume that it was in that statue. I don't know what attracted it, and it went into the ocean. Did you realize something?
Yeah, it went into the ocean. It started small and it got big.
Yeah, really big.
It kept going to the ocean when it got bigger. It went to the ocean when it got small, and then it got a bigger. It's like a hermit crab, not an oyster.
It was pretty oyster-like.
Well, I mean, house-wise, it had to get a bigger house because the ocean made it bigger.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. And I mean, I guess it clearly went into the Overim statue. Too.
So it's really good it did not die in the ocean, or we might have a mountain to fight.
Yeah, and when we heard it, I went to confront it while pointing at Flicker. She made sure everyone was safe, and like I struck it. The lightning kind of like made a mark, cracked open the shell, and that's when we kind of saw something. And I was moving it away from the island, but then it got to the ocean, and it was starting to move slower. But as soon as it touched the water, I realized that it liked the water, so I had to drag it back out, which is why I'm going to gesture to it being near. I dragged it down into the beach, which is why it's kneeling there, right on Mo's oyster stand.
But that was still a great idea and excellently executed, frankly, apart from the oyster shack, which honestly, as far as casualties go, could have been worse. Could have been a person. Could have been Mo. Wasn't Mo.
No one got actually hurt, right?
There were some people who got a little scraped up from, and she just sort of gestures at the torn up ground, the holes which have sort of drained of the water but are still very much there.
Yeah.
But these houses are built to last and to not hurt you if they don't. So
Good. That's important. I'm glad that's true. And Flicker, you went to the Soothe.
Yeah, you had it handled here, Samir, so I popped in to go deal with that, and it was a fish. Definitely thought maybe Red Evelyn actually did, but it doesn't matter. She was, and it was a fish, and I put it in a bubble, and then Sokoro was obviously better suited for fighting it in the Sooth, so I just swapped us. And that was it. We took care of it. We did our job.
Yeah.
Samir gives you a very pointed look, Sokro, at that mumbled middle bit there.
I'm raising my eyebrows, mouthing.
Well, you two did good. It's, helpful probably that you didn't go to the academy. I'm concerned that someone else might have stayed their hand given. And she sort of gestures like, the vast importance to our world of these Omerim and maybe concern over cracking a hole into its skull because
Oh, that didn't actually ever occur to me. Did it occur to you?
A little bit, but we can make new statues. You can't replace lives.
Exactly. Don't teach you that in school. Also, speaking of school, can we take an apprentice? Is that allowed? Do they frown on that?
Apprentice? Okay, no, that makes sense.
I mean, I don't want to just leave Oscar on his own. We gotta find him a link buddy, Unless he doesn't want to go down the path, and then we gotta get him, retired.
Yeah. Well,
Well, you gotta Samir knows. Samir's done it. You gotta cut the.
our pirate Oscar
Connection! Sorry.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
I think that Clement, who was sitting next to Samira this whole time, sort of nudges her shoulder a little at the abject look of horror on her face at the idea of traveling with you two and your new apprentice, Oscar, who is also somehow a magician. By magician, I mean musician. But maybe it's close-up magic.
Both are true.
We can do both.
Confirmed, yes.
And she says, Clement and Randy here offered to house me while they help fix up the town, and I thought it might be nice to not be traveling as much. And especially if you're bringing on an apprentice, I can only imagine the chaos that's going to be sown there, and I need to enjoy my retirement. So,
what? I mean, yeah, totally, you do, absolutely. But you don't want to just abandon us to the world. We are terrible at everything we do constantly. This was a fluke.
Okay, hang on now, Flicker. Hey, you're not terrible. Looking at just you, I understand. Honestly, it would be nice to maybe chill on this island for a bit before we go back out. We have a little bit to fix up anyways. It's gonna take some time.
yeah, it might be difficult to get a boat out in the next little bit. There's not really docks.
Yeah, we gotta build those.
The boats are on. This is a fishing village. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We've devastated them ecologically.
You understand why I felt so bad?
No, I mean, I assumed it was because, I didn't know exactly what it was. I just got a really strong sense of oysters. And I thought maybe you had crushed someone. Not a person, necessarily. I did think it was a person a little bit, because the oyster is squishy. But I'm glad it was just an oyster shack. I had death on the brain. I was thinking about death. So I assumed death.
Well, it didn't happen. Except for the breaker.
Right, we did kill a breaker. But, we're allowed. We're supposed to. It's our job.
Yeah.
Does it count? Yeah. Is it death? Are we killing them? Are they, dead? What happens to a breaker when it dies?
We haven't
Where
learned
do they
that.
go? Is this covered in school? Is this a school thing, Samir?
Yeah.
The theories are covered in school. Samir has been watching this back and forth, eating oysters like popcorn. There are theories covered in school, but no one really knows. We don't know anything about them except that they're predators and...
So how, theoretically, did it possess an Omerum. Or I guess the statue of an Omerum.
And like you said, it sounds like it was almost a sort of hermit crab slithered in between the Omerum and the husk. Took it over.
One-time thing?
I would hope. I mean, what we do know about breakers is that they take a form based on where they break through. So if something broke through in similar conditions, it could potentially do a similar thing.
I have a plan. Right? Because this one and the frog one was also kind of weird, but like super specific in a way that is replicatable, probably not, but could come up unexpectedly if you like fall through a trapdoor somewhere. What if we wrote songs about how we defeated these specific breakers so that we can pass it along to the other Soothwardens in an easy and catchy way to remember in case someone else runs in the same circumstance? They're not like, oh no, what's its weakness? They'll be like, I remember that cool song and I'm going to sing it while I kick its ass.
Like a group, well, that's what we do. I guess it'd be like more storytelling, like bards.
Like a ballad.
Yeah.
But like a high energy ballad.
Yeah, obviously.
And now we can have some triangle in it. I always thought our songs were missing a little ding ding ding.
A little ding ding ding.
Well, you two should talk to the triangle boy then, somewhere that isn't here in front of my soup.
Are you sure? He'd be really excited to talk to you.
I can't imagine that would be true.
You could give him better advice than we're gonna.
I don't know. It seems like you two are doing pretty well. Graduated out of needing a manager, getting your own little apprentice.
You can always come with us again if you want to. You don't have to be our manager. You can just be a friend.
Hang out.
How about you can come visit me? I've been traveling for almost a century now. It would be nice to settle down.
I mean, this place is pretty nice when it's not invaded by an Omerum or Omerum breaker.
Yeah, it's okay, I guess.
Yeah. Do we?
Just, try not to get too many. Don't go around asking people about me. You don't need to know that.
I was not planning to. I know more than enough about the both of you, I think. But maybe the two of you could deal with knowing a little more about each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, these oysters are great.
Gotta love a soup.
Samir shakes her head in despair and turns back to her previous dining companions. She has tried, but is not physically going to make you two talk to each other.
Who needs to talk when you have an emotional bond that cannot be spoken?
Yeah, I think that's a great cue to, I don't know, go around, see, help where we can, or at least Okoro for sure. Um,
Same.
uh,
It's a rebuilding montage.
yeah. How's Oscar Warden Oscar, Soothe Oscar? Howdy.
Apprentice Oscar.
If you try calling him Apprentice Oscar, he will not accept that name. He has gone straight to Warden and will not demote himself.
You do need
Warden
to take
in training, Oscar? Warden to be?
You do need a link.
You can't be a warden without a link.
Yeah, that's where the important part comes in.
Where do I find that?
You don't?
It just kind of happens.
You'll just know it. You'll definitely know it.
How did you know it? What did points between the two of you? How did you two get together?
The first time or the actual link time? You mean the actual link time?
Yeah, dude, I'm not asking about your sex life. I just want to know about the warden stuff.
No, the band! The band!
Sakura pinches their nose for a second. We were in a band prior to us being wardens. And then I broke the band off for a bit to try different things that they weren't experimental stuff. By the way, you could feel like the lying there. And just and then we started hearing the Room song, and song music. We worked together as musicians well already before, so
It kind of drew us back together.
yeah. New thunderclouds, thunderstorm, both.
What? I'm sorry, what was the first one?
I
Thunderclouds?
think I said thundercloud. It's been a lot. Flicker.
I like it better. I like Thunderclouds better. I think that's cooler. We should change the name of the band.
Wait, did you guys do that song? And then he'll start humming one of your early songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was us.
I loved that. My mom hated it because I'd play it on the triangle just sort of all day.
It is, you know what? That's a hard one to do on triangle. So honestly, I'm just impressed.
I practiced a lot, which made it worse for her.
But better for you.
Yeah.
Gotta practice a lot. And you know what? Parents just have to put up with that sort of thing. If you want a musician child. But yeah, your link could be anybody. Your link could be anybody. It could be your mom. Probably isn't, but it could be. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But you two knew each other. So how did you feel something when you met again, or were you just let's try it out?
Yeah. I mean,
A little both. Yeah.
it was definitely it was both. A lot of the former, I think. Had to be a lot of the former for me, I think, or I don't know that I could have jumped into another one so soon.
Oh. I mean, I felt something with that girl I was talking to last night. Maybe she's hearing it too.
The important thing about being linked is that you will feel each other's emotions and thoughts all the time.
Chemistry
No, that
is
can't be right.
required.
Yeah. That's how.
But if you can feel each other's thoughts, why are the two of you so?
So what?
What, Oscar? So what?
There's just an energy when you're both talking, and I'm not saying it's bad, but it's a little rancid in that it feels like things need to be cleared.
It's not bad, it's just rancid, huh? Wow. Wow, Oscar. You know what? You're on your own, Triangle Boy. Get out of here.
Oh, she's right over there. And he does not wait for the rest of your thing. He wanders off to see if the girl he was talking to last night is also hearing the song.
Rancid.
Sokoro has their hands in front of them like this. Okay, so maybe we actually should talk if people are noticing.
From Triangle Boy? Rancid?
I think that's just how they talk. I mean, it is a little rude.
A little?
Yeah.
That's peak. That's like ultimate. You don't bust out rancid unless it is truly loathsome. Okay, that is high level. That one goes on a pedestal, and you save it. You save it for the right moment.
I mean, yeah. That again, it is just how they talk.
I don't like Oscar anymore.
I think they're fine.
Rancid. It's not rancid. It's just a little unresolved. On account of the Rata, probably.
Yeah, in the soothe, that's what the angler fish.
Yeah. That's where she died. So I thought maybe she wasn't for a second, and that maybe this time I could bring her back out.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that I could have done it for you. I always make sure to save a little something for that now. I would have just dropped the bubble and I would have dragged you in. I saved enough. You were going to be fine no matter what. I wouldn't have sent you into the Sooth if you weren't going to be okay. I left the bubble for you and I was going to drop it just to bring you out, only if it got to that, and it didn't get to that.
I'm going to clasp your face and just look at you and say, Flicker, I know. I never didn't trust you. Because I believe in you. I mean, I always felt that you were stronger than you always set yourself on, and I thought that. I mean, the first time we broke the band, I didn't want to try experimental music. I thought, I'm gonna look at the ground for a second. I thought you were doing incredible on your own, and that if you didn't need me, why would you want me around? So I said that, so it didn't. Yeah. But
We were a duo. It didn't work without both.
I know, but you make such incredible music on your own that I just felt that sometimes I was holding you back.
You are the foundation of every song. You hold the melody.
And, when I started hearing the song and then saw that you were there, and you could hear it, I knew that I could always trust you, and I knew that you were always stronger than you let yourself be. And maybe I was a little reckless, but I wanted to make sure that you were okay, that your home was okay. The people that you grew up with, despite whatever you think they did, they care and love about you.
They never did anything. I was the one who let them down. I didn't bring Rada home. I didn't even bring a body home.
And you came home. It's not your fault that you both took on the most dangerous thing possible in this world. When carrying the memorial, I felt something from Radha. Like, there's still, I don't know how, but I could still feel them, and I didn't know it at the time, but just, felt like they wanted to be here. They wanted to make, be near you, or I don't know, but you didn't let anyone down because you couldn't save someone you cared about. You tried.
And I think Flicker is just very silently crying. But the emotion you get is not just like, it's not grief. It is grief, but it's not just grief. It's got strains running through it of relief and something breaking that needed to break to heal.
I'm just gonna pull you in for a hug and just I'll say quietly, just I wouldn't be linked to anyone else.
And as awkward as Flicker is with literally everyone else who's ever tried to hug Tem, never with you. And she just hugs you back. And I think for the very first time, there are no boxes. There's no blockages between that link. Nothing is being held back.
Yeah.
Okay, you two. Is there anything else you wanted to do? I think the rest of the night passes calmly enough. Go back to bed after 5 hours of being awake for another 8 hours of sleep, really resting up. But any other scenes you wanted to have together? Or just in town?
I don't know. Anything, any secrets? Anything being kept back? I noticed some lies earlier.
It was
them out in front of Rancid Oscar.
I just told you them.
Okay. Just checking there weren't other ones and that the air is fair.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Oscar, I think we see a sort of montage of him talking to the woman from the night before, Mairead, talking about like a spark and how he kind of felt it, and did she maybe feel the same thing, and her taking it much more romantically than he did, and then continuing like to talk at cross purposes for a while before deciding that no, maybe this is probably not the person he should be soul bonded to. See Samir relaxing, finally, like letting her cane with its embedded metallic dirge away from her hands for a bit as she finally trusts the two of you to actually take care of things. Kira gathering all the pieces of pottery that have been destroyed by the breaker, piecing together a new pot for Oscar because she assumes correctly that the vase was destroyed, and there's, it's not an apology vase without the vase part, so she needs to keep that apology up so she never has to deal with him again. And I think that because the memorial garden itself was in front of the Omarim, it has largely been destroyed. So a few days after everything, once houses are in a better shape and people have started rebuilding, boats have gone looking like people have come on their usual routes and found out what happened, and now there's help being laid across multiple islands. The town gets together to sort of replant. And you are invited if that is something you would like to attend.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's a really good place and backdrop to invite Sokoro to help Flicker finish the song for Rada and all the others. Because Sokoro is the melody.
Yeah. And I know the song just as well as they do.
Any other dark secrets you need to share with each other?
I don't think so, unless...
You play it, and the town is appreciative. Oscar is there in the background, not playing his triangle, but listening along, and you can see him sort of playing in the air as if he's trying to learn it, mouthing the words. He has the song that you were going to write about the breaker and how to defeat it. He did learn that one pretty immediately and is going to spread it whether you want him to or not.
This is a good way to go find his link. And it gets the song out there.
Exactly.
2 birds. 1 oyster. 2 seagulls, 1 oyster. That's a bonus joke for Dusty.
And with that, with your song, I think, playing over the backdrop of the two of you at this garden, putting to rest the loving memory of the people you've lost, we will close out on our episode of Soothwardens. Thank you so much, you guys! Yeah, this has been Soothwardens by Navarseek Jackson. We are playing the playtest version, which you should go buy from him at his itch page. And I will pass it to my players to say farewell and tell us where to find them, starting with Ferris.
Oh, I'm first. Yeah, I'm first. I don't know why I panic every time it gets handed off to me, but I do. Only for the outros. Outros I don't have practice with. We don't do them. We don't do them on D&D. We don't believe in an outro. We just let Tick talk a lot. And I've been myself, and I have games at eferisgames.itch.io. I know my own itch handle. You can pick up things like Drawn to the Light, which is a 3-player card / spinning light game of secrets and lies and possibly ghosts, as you might have killed your friends and they might have killed you too. Don't worry about it, you're in a lighthouse. And also check out Nox, because it's my baby and you can play gothic monsters in an apocalypse that you kind of let happen. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Use a tarot card. That's me, Dusty.
Hi, yeah, I have and will be Dusty. You can find me online at Dusty Hill. All of us on the screen are from G&G, Goblins and Gays. You can also hear me at Bring Your Own Mech and in the Wavering Forest, where I play other roles. I'm a producer, player, GM. But yeah, you can find me there. I'm all over the place. I'm here on GMM occasionally. You'll see me there if I go watch Castaway. Other stuff, I think. I don't know. There's probably stuff in the future and the past you can find me on. Also, my games at from Dust to Dice at itch.io. I write genre-full games like Lesbian Werewolf Crime Fighters, Trans Vampire Cowboys, another game that has a story about doing a heist, if you really like Leverage, so definitely check that out. That should be out at this point. I've already said it multiple times, so now I have to. So, yeah, from Dust to Dice at itch.io. And then let's let you talk about stuff.
And I have been Alyssa. You can find me online at A Disaster Queer. By online, I mean on Blue Sky and also on itch.io, where I have games including Unresolved Sapphic Tension, which you may have heard on GMM, which was really, really great, and it made me very happy, and you should definitely listen to if you have not already. Thank you so much for hosting us and for joining us for this series. Farewell.
Bye.